Well, there we go. Guys, welcome in to another live stream here. What is today? Wednesday? Wednesday night? Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Live stream. The tush push, they should have banned that, man. I don't like the tush push. It's not a competitive play. It's not a competitive play. It's a boring play. You think this day and age they would ban boring plays, but I guess not. It's unfair to let the defense push. I know that's the thing that I was wondering, is the defense even allowed to push? So the offense can push, but the defense can't. But it's just like a cheap half-inch play. It's like, just do a QB sneak. You don't need the pushing. I thought the pushing was illegal. When I was younger, I was like, I thought the pushing was illegal. I'll have a blue shirt on. It's like a I haven't worn this in a while, actually. Well, the last few days I have because it's a little bit colder. Normally I'll wear something like this. It's a crow neck, I think. I don't like anything with a hood on it, I think. But I do like wearing longer sleeves. And yeah, that's basically it. Ethereum about to skyrocket. Ethereum is looking better, man. We're getting this bill passed with a bunch of tax cuts. Is going to be real good. It's going to be the classic short-term stimulation. Like, this is perfect, I feel. If we don't have a crazy run off of this bill, crypto, it's insane. We're going to have a huge run, I think. Taking all the South African farmers who are being discriminated against. Well, I thought it was like 30 or 40K or something like that they could bring in. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, he talked to the South African president and really obviously went in with an objective to show him the issues he had. And they say, well, it's not a genocide. These people are being discriminated against. They are getting killed. It's true. Maybe not at extremely high rates, but this is something that's happening, and they have a problem with it because it's white people that are coming in. The thing is with them, that's like a horror story to a liberal. Trump is bringing in refugees, but they're white. Oh, and it's 59 refugees. Now there's going to be more, I think, I believe. NBC reporter got cooked. What, by Trump when was that the NBC reporter when asking about the Cutter plane? Yeah, that'll be in the news. There's a lot of stuff that has to go on with that plane before it's usable. They have to like upgrade it significantly for it to be. I mean, I would blame Boeing. They had said in 2018 they were going to have two new jets ready for Trump, and it just hasn't come close to happening. Now they're delayed to 2035 or whatever. Thoughts on the Golden Dome? Can it be done before Trump is out? Is China scared we'll nuke everyone else? Yeah, to me, I think it's a great idea. I was thinking about that today and kind of, it's right here. Here it is. Yeah, you're right. China, this was the big news. China is calling on the U.S. to officially halt its space-based Golden Dome missile defense system program. So the initial upfront investment, this is based off of the big, beautiful bill, is $25 billion. Now, people were saying it was going to cost $1 trillion. I don't think that's true. It could cost 100 billion in total over like 10, 15 years. But think about it. When you're the United States, we have the Atlantic, the Pacific. There's not going to be a land invasion against the United States. And there's likely not going to be a land invasion against any major country. That's just not, I mean, obviously you got Ukraine, but just in general, outside of Europe, we're all talking about nuclear weapons. We're talking about long range ballistic missiles. So why would we not try and, considering we've got by far the biggest military budget in the world, why would we not have an upgraded missile defense system? All anyone talks about when it comes to how we're in trouble to where there's World War III are nukes. And I don't know if, could stop hypersonic missiles, things like that, but it just makes total sense. And, they say, well, it weaponizes space. That was already going to happen. It's just part of evolving as a species. Things get more high tech. There's going to be things that are used in space for military. This is a defense system, though. They're angry about it. It doesn't really matter. The whale, Sean, what's up? U.S. Treasury 248 billion surplus under Trump, second biggest in U.S. history. What's up, man? The whale has landed early. How would this work against ICBM carrying submarines? Would they get too close to us for us to properly respond? There's got to be a detect system within the Atlantic. That's probably how that would be handled. Yeah, I saw it was the Packers trying to ban the tush push. I saw that. Can't go back 30 years in the past and justify killing whites because whites did bad things to the blacks. The whites didn't even support apartheid or have anything to do with it. I mean, they are being discriminated against. I did look it up. They have passed a few laws, not the total amount that it called for, but they passed laws. It's basically a land grab. What they say equalization to take land from the white farmers. So I mean that is a discrimination. So I mean, but the point is they're just angry that these are white refugees. It's the Uno reverse card by Trump. You know, when liberals think of refugees, it's always like they have a thought in mind where minority potential voting block, and this is a bit different for them, so they can't handle it. But this is 59 people. I think it's going to be more, but how's it going? Missed your last two streams. Oh, that's all right, man. What's up? New highs for tech this year. Well, I think it's gonna be. I think the AI coins are gonna run real high in crypto. I mean, AI is it is the hot thing, and it's probably gonna be the hot thing for the next few years. Nvidia, DeepSeek is coming out with their. I mean, all these language models. They keep. Right now, it's like the space race, but with an AI. It's the AI race. The language models keep coming out with newer versions, and they keep one upping each other. And the next release is going to be DeepSeek, which is the Chinese model. And I've been waiting on that, but it still hasn't come out yet. Should we be worried about today's stock market? What, because of the yield? Yeah, the yield took a shit. Well, the yield spiked again. You know what? I think it's Japan selling treasuries. Japan, their currency is really weak right now. But to me, it's foreign countries selling. They're going to have to lower the rates to correct it. But the 10-year yield, I feel like there's a lot of fear mongering with that. Even the yield was higher in, what was it, January 17th, January 18th, the 10-year yield than it is right now. I still think that's the case. So if it was higher then and there was higher inflation, now there's lower inflation, it's still high. I mean, it's still a better economic situation now than it was then because we have lower inflation. But I mean, this could be an aberration based on foreign countries selling their treasuries. I think that's the most likely. Have you seen the images of the streets of South Africa from 10 years ago to now and how bad it's gotten? Well, yeah, it's another Rhodesia, Zimbabwe. That's what it's going to turn into, and then they'll blame the white flight for it. I mean, you can already see it playing out in real time. Juan, what's up, man? How much would a project like this cost? 175 billion is the estimated cost. I don't think there's an estimated cost. You can't really estimate the cost of this, but it's an upfront cost of 25 billion for it. And yeah, it's going to be a lot more than that, but maybe like 100 billion, 150 billion. It's just it makes sense to have everyone talks about the way the United States is susceptible. It's always just nukes. I mean, because of our location. So it makes sense for us if we got the biggest military budget in the world by far to defend ourselves against the number one perceived threat. This is the evolution within the government that we wanted. Equalization is financial theft in Canada from Quebec, from Alberta to Quebec, Ontario, Lower Upper Canada. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, and I know Alberta's dealing with that situation right now where they're forced to give up a lot of money because they have a very natural resource rich country or province. Maybe they'll be their own country. Now, I don't know about Alberta. You know, that situation's moving along pretty slow. I think they need a real leader. That's what I was thinking about the Alberta separation movement. That Danielle Smith to me doesn't do it. The premier, they need a true leader to galvanize behind it because they're gonna have to convince some people. They really are. Now, maybe you could do it if Carney's leadership is terrible again and they see the writing on the wall. I mean, they're certainly more of a conservative province. If all the conservatives said we want to leave, they would definitely have over 50%. But right now, you know, they're at 45%, whatever it is. Japan is having a more serious version of what we are currently having, stagflation. Well, we really don't have stagflation. I wouldn't call it that, what we have stagflation. The inflation is too low for it to be stagflation. I mean, the true inflation is still under 2%, and now the economy has recovered to a degree. I mean, it's all relative. Like, you're not going to see the actual result. I mean, we're finally starting to see lower gas prices, but, you know, there's a lag behind. So people still think there's high inflation. That's why Trump's inflation numbers are just horrible. You know, they do approval rating on inflation. Trump's like minus 20 on it, which makes no sense. But I can understand. You have to realize people don't really feel things getting cheaper. But in some senses, like the energy sector, I mean, you have to see gas has got to be falling everywhere. But it ebbs and flows. And unfortunately, crude oil has gone back up. So we'll see when that'll probably have an effect within a few weeks. Incumbent party in South African government is keeps getting lower and lower in the polls. They lost their majority last year for the first time in 30 years or so. So yeah, well, their president did not look too. He did not look too confident today. I mean, I don't think he expected Trump to do that. They showed a side by side Trump's visit with him versus Biden. It's crazy. I need to turn this light on, but it just I can't enter my password because it's rarely dark out. Danielle Smith said she's giving Carney 6 months to deal something with Alberta. It's insane. She thinks Carney will do shit for Alberta. Well, you know, it's not surprising they would try and milk this idea of separation and leverage it. This is what I thought they would do if that, you know, so that doesn't surprise me. You ever play Black Ops Zombies online? Yeah, I mean, I'll play a few times. It's tough. I mean, my connection just sucks. If I'm not host, I lag, so I just don't like doing it. I mean, most of the time I'll play solo or with a few other people, but Miami-Dade flipping red by 6 points. Yeah, I mean, Florida's gone for them. Miami-Dade flipping. Didn't it flip in the election? It is gone for them, and it's not coming back anytime soon. Florida, which really hurts their electoral college. None of your prices have gone down except eggs. I'll give him that. Your gas is the same price as it was 6 months ago. Not Trump's fault, but I won't gaslight. Well, I mean, it depends the area you live in terms of, on average. Listen, if crude oil is down, the average price of gas in the United States is very likely to be down. That's just the reality, and it's been way down. I mean, the price of gas for me is like 279, but it ranges from 279 to 319. It's very volatile. How many of the refugees can we expect? I don't know. I heard like 30 to 40K if the white South Africa. Oh, you see this? Dude, look at the reaction from this. I think this is like Kate Baldwin or something. I don't know this anchor's name. But look at her reaction. This woman starts this is the woman that assaulted an ICE There was an incident where she assaulted somebody with ice or something. But listen to what this is.
Congresswoman, you are now facing a federal charge, though. Are you afraid of what's going to transpire now?
You fight on, you fight
Look at her,
on.
look at her.
You fight
She's like, this bitch is crazy.
on, you fight on.
What is wrong with this bitch?
When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on. Oh,
She assaulted someone. This is terrible.
Congresswoman, you are now facing a federal charge.
She assaults someone and then plays the victim. The government's doing me wrong. I assaulted someone. Okay. Always the victim. Give the white South Africans the means to defend themselves. Really, with 5% of the population, they're going to defend themselves. To me, it's a losing battle. But it's and it's a foreign country. You're going to get. It's like it doesn't really work to me. Oh yeah, they didn't want to look at the video. These are their officials. Delegation.
But we are starting with this whiteness.
They don't want to look at it.
We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot to kill Gamanza, kill the Bua, the farmer, kill the Bua, the farmer. Pa, pa, pa.
It's like a TV show. They're just awkwardly sitting there. It's like they just awkwardly. 70K are interested in the program. 70K are interested in the program that allows them refugee status. Is that what it is? Should the Fed cut rates at this point? Just seems like they're only waiting on trade deals. All indicators look good. Yeah, and the 10-year yield is up. All the yield, all the bonds, the bond market is way up right now. So do you think they would cut? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see them cut really soon, honestly, but just because of what we've seen with the indicators on inflation. And the market's back up, inflation's still relatively stable. Price of energy going up a little bit, but you don't want to react to that in the span of 3 or 4 days. We'll see what happens this next week with energy. That's why the true inflation spiked, because energy went up. Crude oil went way up. Well, not way up, but it spiked when there was, there's all these announcements with this Middle Eastern stuff. I know you guys, it's like, it's just so many different bipolar announcements. Well, now the latest one is Israel's going to strike Iran. But, Trump is not going to get us into that. These efforts know what they're doing is wrong. IFO, yes, the $2 Canadian. Thank you for that. We should resettle all of them in Springfield, Ohio. That is crazy, man, that Biden can dump 20,000 Haitians into Springfield in a population of 50K and there's no outrage. It just happened. And then the only way Republicans see it's like a year after it happens. We're like, wait, what is that? Third Worldist Jackson Hinkle is running for cover in South Africa because he's a communist who loves... He seems like just an adjutant, that dude. He was like, he does a lot of baity posts. Like he was talking about Trump's split with Netanyahu, how obsessed he is with that. And he's like, I mean, is he a Muslim? He should just convert at this point. Week-long market sell-off triggered today or nah? It's like everything went down at the exact same time this morning. That's what people were saying. Let me take a look at this. No. It'll be back up tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. I'm just... I don't know, man. It's the yield. That's what it is. Yeah, how high was the yield? Yeah, the yield 1 week before inauguration was 4.8%. Now it's about 4.6. So, I mean, it was still higher with higher inflation right before Trump came in. it fluctuates. You could say foreign country selling. Favorite food? I don't know, man. I haven't really I used to like steak a lot. Steak is still good. There's nothing wrong with a really good steak. But there's nothing wrong with a good burger at a restaurant. Haven't had one of those in a while. Haven't been to many restaurants recently at all. Really just eating healthier right now. So, you know. But yeah, I mean, probably a good burger at a restaurant is always good with ketchup and fries. It's as normy as it gets. Supreme Court ruled Trump can deport Haitians. Well, that'll definitely. My cat just overheard that and he's extremely excited. 20K Haitians who, unlike other illegals, don't have basic IQ. Yeah, and I mean, do they even speak English? That's the other thing. You want to talk about assimilation. They started saying if you want these people to assimilate, you're racist. That's what they say now. I saw Charlie Kirk. He was in the UK, I want to say, and he's bitching about it, saying how bad it is. He says, if you're in the UK or you're in Europe for 3 days, you're going to want to go back to the US. I mean, I know Europe is poor. They're just, in terms of just the people, what they own, they are pretty, compared to the United States and in like our suburbs and stuff, they have the cities that are very walkable. But, with Europe, even with like the UK, they're still 80% white. Did you guys know that? So it's like, and I know London is worse. London is apparently a lot worse with the immigration. The big cities are always going to be worse, but I don't know, man. I mean, the way their demographics look with them now coming out against this immigration and the Labor Party. The Labor Party seems like they're trying to get ahead of it. They realize the vast majority of people don't want the immigration at the levels anymore, so they're trying to get out ahead of it. So that's why Starmer's doing his big expo on the immigration stuff, and he's become like this right-wing guy on immigration. But it's all because they're trying to remain in power. But I mean, it's a pivot that it shows that the UK is changing to a degree on their immigration policy. If the liberals are going to come out and say that. Bro really thought bringing golfers and talking about golf was going to win him over. I know. Well, with the meeting. Austria is a nice place to visit. Yeah, I mean, I've heard places in Europe are very clean. I know Americans don't like Europe, and there's this connotation about it, but because it's like liberal, so conservatives are not going to like it. Bro, that's got to be a troll comment. That's got to be a troll comment. Should you have kids with a white woman and pray that they turn out white? I mean, I'm not sure I take that comment seriously, man. South Dakota, Utah, Montana, Wyoming are all underrated. I love the plains. I love South Dakota. Those are nice states. They really are. Those are good states, man. The problem with Wyoming is they don't really like I guess every state doesn't like immigration into it from other states, but Wyoming in particular I know really doesn't like it. The other problem with Wyoming is the wind. I mean, those Great Plains states, because but for whatever reason Wyoming, from what I understand, it's like a wind tunnel. They just get so much wind. They get way more wind than North Dakota, South Dakota. I mean, North and South Dakota will still get significant wind. Montana. Utah is Salt Lake City, you're getting a bit more liberal there. There's some liberals moving in. But Utah's still conservative. I mean, they're Mormon, so it's a little bit different there. How have you mastered not gooning so many baddies on IG? I mean, I don't really go on Instagram much, honestly, man. You know, dude, I'll be honest. No, I'm not gonna say, but Instagram, they do some weird tactics to try and get you on threads. Has anyone? I'm not gonna say exactly what it is, but like you'll go on Instagram and I'm on Instagram, I'm not on threads, but then there's like this list that allows you to go to threads, but you have to make an account or whatever. But some of the shit on there is like, yeah. Favorite sandwich? Well, I love tuna and lettuce, but I like white bread. I don't like wheat. So I gotta have white bread if I'm gonna have a sandwich. But I like a lot of different sandwiches. Like a lot of there's nothing wrong with a good sandwich. This sandwiches are good, man. The wind always blows in Wyoming. Yeah, I couldn't do it where it's always windy. I mean, any of those states are going to be dealing with more wind. Wind is an issue for me. I don't know. I just find it annoying, wind. You wouldn't think wind would be that much of an annoyance, but if it's a constant thing, it is very annoying. It's just kind of it's almost rare here to get just random windy days. We don't really just get, if it's windy, it's because it's raining or there's a storm or something. We normally here in Ohio, we don't get windy, just straight up overcast wind days. There normally has to be a catalyst like a storm. BTC hit 110K. Yeah, I mean, I would get used to it, man. I think BTC is going to be at 150, 160, maybe even higher this cycle. But I mean, let's let BTC go on its run and have the alts follow, and then I mean, there's the money will flow into the alts. We know there's going to be a real bull run. That was the warm up. People said it was the real thing. They're doomers. They're bears. Do you have Penn Station? We had a Penn Station. I think they went out of. They're not there anymore. We don't have a Penn Station here anymore. Have you heard about the claims that China's pre-COVID population was 800 million, and now it's estimated to be 300 to 400 million? No, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think they're overestimating their population by about 150 million, but I don't think it's that catastrophic. But I haven't looked into it too much, so maybe you are onto something. But from what I heard, that I kind of looked into it a little bit, I thought it was around 150 million is what they overestimate their population by. They're an impossible country to read on because they constantly lie. They lie about everything. They lie about their GDP. They lie about unemployment numbers. So any numbers coming out of China are... They lied about the COVID cases. That was one of the most famous ones. Hear that Candace is now doing a series on Harvey Weinstein, trying to vindicate him. It's caused a split with the Groypers. Fuentes has disagreed with her. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a weird one to do. But I don't know about all that stuff, man. Honestly, I'm not really into that type of drama personally. But I don't know why she would do a series with him. I guess it's the idea of, oh, it's the Me Too bullshit. They all lied. Is that the angle? I'm waiting to break even and sell memes. No, I'm not waiting to break even. I'm waiting to go higher, way higher than even. Way higher than even, hopefully. But I don't know, man. My coins are really not moving. At a certain point, you got to get a little bit nervous. But you know what? Maybe I'll just take a decent amount and just be happy with it. Hopefully we get the taxes taken away. That would be amazing. Could you imagine that? I don't think Trump can do that, though. Trump needs that crypto tax, bro. The government needs that revenue. They're going to be making a lot of revenue off crypto taxes with this bull run that we're going to have. Media is still denying the white genocide in South Africa. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, they're just mad that white people are given refugee status and being allowed to immigrate to the United States. But it's like, this is the thing I don't understand. They're like, well, they're all racist farmers. Screw them. They're gonna have all their land confiscated. It should happen because of apartheid. So then they're like, all right, you're saying you're gonna kill us. We're gonna leave, and then they're mad they're leaving. And I guess the South African government has to kind of be like, no, it's not that bad and stuff. But even just the people, like, what do you want them to do exactly? You want them to leave. You say they're racist, so they leave. Then you're mad they left. It's white flight. Okay. 1.5x loading. Maybe like a 3x. Maybe like a 3-4x, man. My trades are just not doing well, man. You know, I've tried these Solana trades. I've hit on a few, but you know, the one catastrophic one was the Greenland coin because I had so much of it and I didn't sell it, and it just came all the way back down. Will you go to Ireland to find an Indian girlfriend? Well, it depends where in Ireland. Ireland is still majority Irish, like 80% Irish in Ireland. So, but maybe they'll respect me more in Ireland. I don't know. They might be like, oh, you're too extreme. You know, they're all liberals in Ireland. But Seth, thank you for that. DG watched your life update video. Keep doing what you're doing, my man. It'll all work itself out. That's a nice comment. I appreciate that, man. Wyoming, Alaska, New Hampshire, Tennessee, South Dakota are the 5 states with the lowest overall tax burden in terms of property taxes, individual income taxes. Yeah, but have you seen what's going on in Tennessee? Tennessee is getting huge migration into the state, and a lot of their suburbs are just completely out of the price range for a lot of people, Tennessee specifically. But I mean, yeah, the part of it is they have with Nashville, the surrounding area, it's a built up spot, and young people want to go there with the tax burden being as low as it is. We should do a video on the South African hate crimes. They're insane. Oh, dude, you should see the stuff that they have to do in South Africa in terms of the security. So if you have like a decent home in South Africa, what they'll do is they will put, I mean, it looks like a jail. It looks like a jail. If you're in South Africa, they'll have spikes. You'll have a fence going all the way around, just like a square box, and the house is in the middle. And they'll have spikes coming up, and then you'll have barbed wire on top. The exact same thing, even more than a jail, because it's not even like it's a chain link fence. It's like a sturdy wall that they have. They have, they're not doing well, and it's gonna, and it's. Let's just say, it's only gonna get worse for them. I would imagine if this refugee, if the farmers keep moving out, I don't think they're gonna do well, and I think they're gonna blame the farmers after this all happens. And what happened to the bond market? You heard Bessent might resign? Really? Scott Bessent? I don't think so. I never heard that. The bond market is way up because foreign countries are selling their treasuries. That's my cope. No, but I mean, Japan is selling. But I mean, look at the perspective of the bond. Look at the perspective of the yield. I mean, the yield was higher on the 14th. So it's nothing great. You see, there's all this fear mongering. I constantly see this stuff on my timeline, and it's all these accounts that are like, they're obsessed. They're economy accounts, but they're like indicator accounts, and they're like, this is it. It's up to 4.5. I'm about to unfollow, or I don't even follow them. They just show up. It's like, oh, this is it. Trump is screwed because, they lowered the problem was here, people are going to look at this and be like, well, if they had a huge reaction here when it spiked, but the market was tanking. That's an issue. But the market's doing better now. I mean, you could say the market went down today, but it certainly didn't go down to the Liberation Day lows. Are you experiencing black fatigue too? I've seen a lot of videos on that, but I think it's just poor etiquette in public is the best way to explain it, and just as a society, you have to have citizens that have a level of care for each other for society to run properly. That's what I would say about that. Same thing that happened to Rhodesia will happen to South Africa. That's what I was saying earlier. Zimbabwe 2.0. Wish we'd help South Africa liberate themselves. Liberate in what way? They're 5%, 7% of the population. They're extremely outnumbered there. That seems like something that would be a very long, hard task for a foreign country to do. I mean, maybe. I guess it depends their government setup and things like that. You could probably bribe and stuff to get them in better positions, but South Africa is where that alien movie District 9 took place from. I never seen that movie. I like a good alien movie. District 9, huh? Have you been hit by severe weather recently? Yeah, it's on and off. We really haven't had a crazy. It was really raining hard today. You know how it is, but I mean, it's been colder, man. It's very nice. It's in the 50s. It's in the 60s. The lows are in the 40s, which is pretty rare for May. The lows in the 40s. You normally don't get that. May is like a lukewarm month, but normally warmer. And the severe weather where I'm located, it's not. There's other places of Ohio that certainly get way more severe weather. It's just based off of location. You should go to Argentina, 99% W, all Spanish baddies. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to leave would be a passport, bro. I never want to do that, man. In general, South Africa is fucked for all races. They live off 2,000 USD per year average, no joke. Well, I mean, most African countries are in a terrible spot, let's be honest. Like the stream. Yeah, guys, go ahead, like the stream, please. I don't know if it does anything, honestly. I'm beginning to think it doesn't do much, but just go ahead and do it. What's the weather like in Canton, Ohio, late July, going to the Hall of Fame game? Is it hot and humid or dry and hot? No, Ohio is humid, but it depends the day. In July it'll be hot though. It'll be the 80s. It'll be the high. Depends on if there's rain or anything, but if there is rain, it'll be very humid. South Africa was the highest murder rate in the world in 2022. The murder rate was 43 per 100K. Guys, if the audio keeps cutting in and out, you're just going to have to refresh it. Because that has happened with other streams, so it's not just my stream. I know it happens with other streams. And I thought I had more videos to react to. Oh, here's this dude. Let's see what this is.
I don't know who the fuck the tolerant left is, but it sure as shit ain't me. I am not a nice person, and I have slapped the shit out of people for far less than telling me that the people that I love shouldn't have basic human rights. Stop playing with me. I don't know who the fuck the tolerant.
The song. Dude decides to transform into an opera singer. It's just it's like a jump scare at the end. Stop playing with me. I thought that was funny. Did you hear about Elon and the Republicans? Apparently, many are refusing to approve any Doge cuts. That's why he left when he did. Yeah, he's pissed off. They weren't allowed to touch the entitlements, and you're not going to cut much if you're not able to touch the entitlements. So liberals are kind of having fun with it. They're saying Doge was a waste, but apparently you're right. They weren't allowed to touch a lot of stuff, not even just the entitlements. They weren't allowed to touch the Pentagon. So those are the big entitlements and Pentagon. That's what you need to look at. You want to cut big money. You want to cut $1 trillion. Yeah. It's like 100 billion, 200 billion alone in All of the entitlements, honestly. The entitlements are 50% of our budget. If you're not able to touch the entitlements, there's no way you're getting to $1 trillion. There's no way you're getting to $500 billion in savings. Stop playing with me. Dude just hit us with a symphony. Homie's going for the choir top performer. You live in Barberton, typically Northeast Ohio, wherever. Work in North Orleton, though. And that's way worse because of the lakes. Yeah. What's he talking about? I don't know. He's talking about Trump deporting Haitians. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Probably. Trump apparently can deport Haitians now. It's been ruled by the Supreme Court. Trump called out the South African prez and he was shaking. Yeah, he got blindsided by it. You know, he had a beautiful little meeting with Biden where Biden kissed his ass the whole time. And then Trump just comes in and says, "What is this?" I mean, it's clearly discrimination against the minority population there. They know it. And honestly, it's not too surprising. There's a ton of animosity with the history of South Africa, but that doesn't mean it's not going on. There's not discrimination against them. They're a ridiculous minority. They have a lot of the farmland. The country's extremely poor. People are more desperate. So you add two and two together, and this is what you get. You never know what Trump will pull with these Oval Office meetings. That was like Trump showing his IG reels. Yeah. Trump always seemingly, well, I mean, it depends who he's meeting with. There's been some positive meetings, Bukele. But they're normally entertaining. I got to get a schedule of who's meeting. You know, the G7 is coming up. The G7's in Alberta, I saw. G7's in Alberta in mid-June. Electoral math, if Biden stays in the race and the Hurt tapes are released in November. Well, if they're Hurt, you mean early November, like before November 5th, because the election's early November. But it'd be like late October is when they release them, or maybe mid-October because of early voting. You want to get the October surprise out pretty early nowadays because of the early voting, but I would say that it would be the same thing. I don't think Trump would win anything. I mean, maybe Trump might win New Hampshire, possibly. Leftists argue since Albanians, who are debatably white, are the race with the highest crime rates in the UK, that whites are worse than non-whites with crime in the UK. But what does it even matter? Why is there an obsession with importing people? Why do they want their own cultures to be destroyed? Really, that's the thing. Even regardless, because we crime rates. I mean, it's the numbers are the numbers. The numbers are not close. And also, what about British against minority crime? I wonder who has a bigger, higher crime rate in terms of that. But to me, it shouldn't even come down to crime rate. It should come down to preserving your own culture. Is that not like the most obvious thing ever? Johannesburg, South Africa is one of the worst cities in the world regarding to living conditions, crime, economic opportunities. Well, yeah, I think also because it's just, I mean, there's other places in Africa that are much poorer, but they have some semblance of government and some semblance of electricity in South Africa, so a lot of it gets documented. How many white Canadian conservatives do you think will move into the U.S. over the next few years? You see the opposite trend with liberals moving to Canada, a trade-off, if you will. I don't know. I think that stuff's overblown. To change countries, it's an extreme thing. It really is. I can't see there being a ridiculous amount. I mean, there'd have to be a crazy catalyst. And I don't think Carney winning an election with a liberal majority is a catalyst that's going to cause a ridiculously high number of white conservatives to move from Canada to the US. I just don't see it. I think you need a much bigger catalyst than that. I mean, there could be something that happens that forces it, but what if Trump imports all the Afrikaners, 3 million to the US? Would you support that? 3 million is how many there are. I mean, I do support the immigration of them. I don't know about that many. 59 is too many. Well, they're talking about 3 million. No, I think it's 70K that are in favor of this plan, so it'd be around 70,000. Yeah, I don't even know what this is, dude. I gotta mute this guy. There might be a bot or something. You would assume that conservatives Canadians would choose to move to Alberta before. Well, most of the conservatives are already in Alberta. At least the hardline conservatives. So they would move from Alberta to the United States, I guess. Yeah, let's bring them all in. That would solve our demographic. 3 million? Yeah, I mean, if you shut down immigration elsewhere. In England, Protestants that are 26 million, only half a million of those 26 million go to church weekly. Meanwhile, 70% of 4 million Muslims in England attend Friday service. Well, yeah, when Islam, they're a lot more devout. A lot of conservatives are just, paper conservatives. Or Protestants are paper Protestants. Who's a bot? I don't know. Some account they kept tweeting or some account that kept messaging just random letters. I couldn't understand it. Dems get 20 to 50 million illegals. We get 70K max. Sounds about right for how cooked the GDP is. Well, I don't know if they got 50 million illegals, man. That seems a little that seems like an exaggerated number. I don't know if they got 20 million. If there's 20 million illegals within the last 4 years, really people should go to prison for that. Because that's what I was trying to explain in my video today. The point was you can let all these people in, nothing happens to the administration. Then Trump tries to remove them, can't remove them efficiently because they're like, oh, they need due process. So it's like, well, why did they get in the country in the first place? Who let them in? If we can't remove them because there's so fucking many of them. Conservatives in Saskatchewan and Yukon too, you would imagine. I don't think there's many conservatives in Yukon. Yukon, there's barely any people there anyways. They'd move to Alaska. It'd be easier for them. Did you see the Charlie Kirk Oxford debate? Yeah, I saw a clip where he was trying to argue in favor of Israel against Hamas and Palestine, and there was a dude saying what they were doing was terrible, and he responded and was like, he was really fiery about it, and he was sweating. I saw that clip. He was trying to defend Israel's honor. The U.S. immigration process is too strict for most Canadian conservatives to just move. Well, right, and it's kind of funny how that works, and then the asylum is easier. But you're right. If you do want to immigrate to the United States, it's not as easy as just coming in. It is a long process. You've got to be committed to want to do something like that. The U.S. builds a golden dome to protect North America. You think it's fair that the U.S. acquires the Canadian Arctic territories, Yukon, Northwest Territory, Nunavut for national security? Right. That's something that Trump should stipulate because Canada wants in on that. I guess they're going to be in on it. They're going to be involved. I don't know what they're going to pay. They're going to have to pay something for it if they want to be in it. You'd think they want to be involved in that Golden Dome protection. If we have 700 immigration judges, they'd have to have here 11 million cases. If you want to lowball the illegal alien population, that would take decades. They'd get their anchor babies anyways. Yeah, what about that? The anchor baby stuff with the 14th Amendment. Boy, I don't think they're going to rule. I don't think the Supreme Court's going to rule in a positive fashion from what I've heard on that. The birthright citizenship stuff, which to me is crazy because if you look at the context of when the amendment was put into place, it was not meant to be what it is today at all. It is completely being gamed, taken advantage of. You don't know why Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro die on the hill of defending Israel no matter what. Do you think they're being paid off? Well, Shapiro is Jewish. Who's going to be the next Colts owner? I don't know. Is Irsay have to sell? That's going to be a lot of money. Any North American, especially NFL team, probably goes for like, what is the going rate? 5-6 billion for teams now. Irsay does have to sell. Went to a clinic for a drug test. So many pregnant foreign women walking in for checkups. What is it? Just public health clinic, I would imagine. Irsay passed away. Oh, I didn't even know that. So yeah, there's gonna have to be a new owner, I guess. Can you do a backflip? No, I can't do one. I could probably do one if I learned it on a trampoline first. That's normally where you learn something like that to be able to do it. But I'll see if there's anything here. Oh, he just died. I probably should have just updated. I'd be able to see it. Yeah, they're doing this thing with the South Africa debate. Thoughts on the Supreme Court ruling 8-1 in favor of Trump administration, which allows termination of temporary protected status for the Venezuelan. Very good, 8-1. Yeah, very good. Died at 65. Yeah, I know he had problems with the drugs and stuff. 65 nowadays is, I mean, I guess you could say it's relatively young. The United States a little bit lower life expectancy. What is our life expectancy? 75 maybe. I guess men versus women is different. Is it around 75? I know in the Asian countries it's like 82, 83. They live longer. They're thinner there. It's a big thing if we're a little bit more fatter of a country, so our life expectancy is bad. Our life expectancy to the amount we spend on healthcare is just laughably horrible. Do you think Joe will really die of the cancer? Well, I mean, it seems like it's really serious for somebody that old. They said it was stage 4 and it went to his bones. I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate on that. Play the Scott Jennings clip.
Whether you call it a genocide or not, the facts are white farmers in South Africa have been murdered. A lot of people have tried to cover this up. A lot of people in, I think, media in the United States have tried to cover it up. Obviously, the South African government doesn't want to talk about it, so
haven't there been thousands?
it's kind of a boss move for Donald Trump to roll that television in there today. And I think even the agriculture minister in the Oval Office confirmed that these people are, in fact, being murdered. So my question is, if it's not a genocide today, how many do we want to let get murdered so that people around here can be satisfied? Okay, now it's a genocide. Let's let a few more. I don't understand. We're talking about 50-something people they were trying to let in, and everybody's losing their mind after we let in 20 million illegal immigrants over the last several years. The president is trying to prevent genocide from happening any further to these people. They are clearly being discriminated against. Some have been murdered. This was an interesting spectacle in the Oval Office today, but it had to happen because I don't think anybody was telling the truth about it. Whether you call it a genocide or not, the facts are white
Well, I wanted
farmers.
to see the response there, honestly, but U.S. life expectancy was 79. That's good. Maybe in Asian countries like 84. I thought they were 5 or 6 years better than us. 79. That's it's about 80 years old. It's pretty old. Yeah, that interview that Tim Dillon did with CNN, that was like a huge thing. I didn't realize how much people wanted it. It's like a big thing that people were talking about. CNN allowing the guy to talk. Scott Jennings. Well, they always have one or two conservatives on. They like spicing it up. It's good for their ratings. It's good for their ratings. I think Scott Jennings is pretty much done. He's moving into running in Kentucky, I think, from what I heard. Am I Jewish? No, I'm not Jewish. That question is asked maybe once a stream, maybe twice a stream, something like. No, maybe not that much. Maybe like once every 2 streams. East Asian countries hover around 83 to 85. 80 is a good life. Yeah, I think 80 is a pretty good life to live. You live to 80. Dude, what kind of a question is that? I mean, what kind of a question is that, man? Come on. You're in Kentucky, you'll vote for Scott. Better than McConnell, that's for sure. Tim Dillon said they filmed over an hour. They only released minutes. No, they released the full thing. If you look on, they did release the full thing. I saw it. It was like an hour, 10 minutes. Your grandma 82, still going. Your great grandfather turned 94. Yeah, I mean, I wonder how long you can live nowadays. You probably get to like, you probably start coasting once you get to like 110. I know people lived, what's the oldest? Like 125.
Forza. Kelly Danko.
Well, they can't have somebody call out their names? What?
Sophia Cicero. Emily Acosta.
Do you guys remember going through this in at the end of high school when they did this? I had to do a ceremony like this. That was cringy, especially the families that were just obnoxious, that were just obnoxiously cheering. We didn't get it too bad just because of, my school, but thoughts on Irish immigration to the U.S. between 1820s and 1860s as a result of the Great Famine. Well, the famine only lasted, I believe, 7 years. But there was a ton of Irish immigration even before then. But yeah, they assimilated, and they were discriminated against, you're right, in the United States for a while. But the Irish we assimilated in relatively easily. I'd have to look back. But the Irish immigrated to the United States. We were some of the early ones, like in the 1700s. But a lot of us came in the 1800s, and a lot of it was because of the blight. But also, I mean, they wouldn't even, the British Empire at the time, they would seize the food anyways. So you couldn't fish, you couldn't do anything. I mean, it was terrible what they did to the Irish. And so a lot of them just came to the United States, and very, very important, very, very critical infrastructure, but very important canals that were built mainly by the Irish. If you look up early United States, who built the infrastructure, a lot of it was Irish. What's your eye color? My eye color is ginger. My eye color is hazel, is what it is. It's a form of green. Charlie Kirk is a grifter. He's like an answer machine. Well, he's got the grift going with the college kids where he debates them, and it gets great views, and it gets people love that. They love that shit. He gets millions of views because of it. But now he went to debate more college kids, but this time in Europe. So I don't know if he's doing a Europe tour but he's debating more college kids now in Europe. We prevented two famines from happening in Russia in the early 1900s, saved millions of lives. Woodrow Wilson was a part of it. Yeah, Woodrow Wilson is extremely... It seems like he's extremely rigid in history. I know a lot of historians always rank Wilson very high, but then just general normies hated Wilson. Well, Wilson, the main stuff with Wilson was the Fed, the creation of the Fed in 1913, and then the initial armistice. The problem with Germany and the Central Powers, but mainly Germany, when they agreed to that armistice, they were given assurances, and those went away with the Treaty of Versailles. That's why everyone always talks about the Treaty of Versailles being such a catalyst. I mean, Germany got completely fucked over, and that was a huge gripe, and that was a legitimate gripe by Hitler, the Treaty of Versailles, because they signed the armistice without being, there were no soldiers that touched German lands. They just signed it away because they thought they were getting a decent deal. And then the Treaty of Versailles, it wasn't even an agreement. Basically, the Allies said, you must sign this, otherwise we're going to reinvade. And so when something like that happens, there's going to be a lot of animosity from Germans. Hazel eyes is where it's at. Yeah, no, I like I like my eye color. It's a different shade of green, It's not exactly green, but it's like a shade of it. Yours are green. Yeah, no, I know there's different variants of it. Yours are blue. You won the lottery. What's your hair color, man? Yeah, man, a lot of that is exaggerated with the Jews stuff, man. A lot of it's exaggerated. Usury. Yeah, I mean, it happened. A lot of it's exaggerated. Their economy was fucked anyways. Do you play Red Dead Redemption? No, I don't. I've seen clips of Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption. The only Rockstar games I played is GTA 5, GTA San Andreas. When I was younger, I used to always play GTA San Andreas on my iPad. They had an app. Horrible graphics, just terrible. But one of those giant iPads. I still have an iPad. I use it. It's good for YouTube when you're moving stuff from like iDrop and things like that, and moving links. See, this always has to come up. What percentage of your viewers are women? In terms, I mean, I don't even look at my analytics. It's probably like 3% maybe. I mean, you understand it's politics, man. Do you play NCAA college football? I have the game. I have the 25. I had 14 as well when I was younger. I think everyone had 14, NCAA 14. But I don't play it much. I think it was really rushed. I think it was really rushed. Your hair switched from orange to blonde depending on the weather. People used to think my hair was orange when I was younger. They said your hair is orange. I think it's just young. When you're younger, you think different hair colors are different things. I used to my hairstyle has gone when I was, I guess when I was younger, I used to cut my, you don't really style it, but as I started getting older, I would always have my hair more so like this. Like I probably got my hair cut around 2 months ago. And normally I get my hair cut every month and a half. I was on a pattern to where I was getting it like every 6 weeks, but I stopped because I used to have my hair to where the sides would grow out like this, and they're not even that long. But then people are like, well, the style is you have to trim it really thin on the sides like this, and you look better, and your face looks better, I guess. But I never really liked that. So I like growing out my sides, honestly. I think it looks better. I don't know why. But everyone like, they have the fades and stuff, and the sides are supposed to be really short, they say. But I was like, you know what? I'm starting to grow it out again. I think it looks better. Last year I was watching some of my old videos. I had the worst fucking webcam ever. I don't even know how I had, because I was like, if it's cost like $70, it should be decent. But I had a $70 webcam. I don't even know how I got views on videos with that webcam. It was so bad. But then I got this new webcam. It's only $200. So I'm going to have to upgrade my webcam to like a $400 webcam. And it should help a little bit, but it's not going to be the perfect pro streamer webcam, because those cost like $1,000 if you want a good. Talking about Germany here, not America, which, yes, you can say lots of Jew allegations today are exaggerated. Jews legitimately caused a chunk of destruction in Weimar. Yeah, I mean, I used to study World War II, and their economy was kind of screwed in the 20s because of hyperinflation, and then they switched to a new currency. That's a common misconception. People think that Hitler created a new currency. It's not true. They had the paper mark, and this was like through the early 1900s. They had the currency was the paper mark, and then the Weimar Republic, they switched it in 1923 or 1924 to the Reichmark, and that's what Hitler used. So they did solve the inflation, but then it was pretty interesting. The exchange rate from the paper mark to the Reichmark was like, it might have been like 1,000,000,000 to 1. No, it might have been like 1,000,000,000 to 1 or something. Like, that's how bad inflation was there. That was post World War II, and they did have rampant usury and things like that, and that was part of the belief system. And then, I mean, that's when Hitler was writing his book. His book is a ramble fest. I don't know. People like it though. I mean, I've seen people say it's historical and stuff. It is a historical book, but it's a bunch of rambling and just like complaining about like the state of the Nazi party. I don't know. You get one haircut a year, bro. You got to be like having a fucking ponytail, unless your hair grows really slow. You got to have a damn near ponytail. You like the current setup with the blue line behind your? Yeah, I've always had that blue line really since like I started doing videos where I was in picture. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna change that. I don't see the point. And I like that mine's a square, just because if it's more horizontal, it just takes up too much of the screen, I feel like. And there's like unnecessary, like the square, it'll perfectly fit you in. Like I don't need more like a wide angle. If there's no point to that. Wilson caused World War II by avoiding it. He didn't let us join the League of Nations. Well, he helped create the League of Nations. He was a catalyst. It was the Senate that didn't want to join the League of Nations. The League of Nations then created. I've always thought that the League of Nations was a better, more exclusive name than the United Nations. The League of Nations, it just sounds better. I mean, obviously, it wasn't nearly strong enough to be able to. That's why they created the United Nations. The League of Nations disbanded in '46 and is pretty much useless. Nobody respected it. Stop putting your money into meme coins and invest in big tobacco. Yeah, I mean, meme coins. I'm telling you, meme coins are an interesting investment idea. But you just gotta hold. I mean, dude, the thing is I had a few that became $1 billion market cap coins, but I didn't stay in them, like MOG and SPX specifically. The market was way down today. I mean, really, was it? I mean, people just react to this type of stuff. Is it really? I mean, Microsoft down 1%, Nvidia down 2%. Like, what has it done the past week? I mean, yeah, it's a mixed baggie. It's a mixed bag, but it's been a little bit down the past week. But I mean, I don't know. They were saying it's because of the yield reads and treasuries are just ballooning, or bonds are ballooning. And for no reason at all, Hitler got elected. Well, it was, it's an intriguing thing to read about the Enabling Act and how he was able to use the Reichstag fire, as a way to assume the dictatorship, because he was elected technically democratically, but he was elected as not chancellor. He wasn't chancellor, but he was appointed chancellor a year after he came to power. Friday the 13th meme coin. It's up 200% since you told everyone to buy it. Yeah, so what is it at 14K now? I mean, dude, this is a pathetic situation you have going on. You're bragging about a coin that's at 14K market cap. Like, this is a sad state. Friday AI. Dude, this coin it's at 11K. I mean, come on. How are you gonna? How much do you have of this coin? Like $10, like a freaking Happy Meal? You buying a Happy Meal with this coin or something? 11K market cap. How are you gonna? It's just no money in it. Even if it goes to 20K. "20 reasons why the bill is getting passed, the Trump bill. The Trump bill. Trump is the #1 story. Trump says U.S. close to brokering peace between Congo, Rwanda. It's in the accumulation phase, $400. Well, how? Goddamn, you have $400 worth of an 11K market cap coin? You've got damn near like 7% of the supply. I don't know how much supply that is. It's got room to grow. It's kind of too bad the way everything worked out in World War II. It's an interesting time to try and learn about its heavily biased topic on both sides of the argument. Yeah, I know. It's hard to go back. That's one of the things with history, especially the 1920s, the 1930s. Even, with World War II, the context of it starts with World War I mainly. And it's hard to properly contextualize that era from all the different viewpoints. Even modern stuff is hard to contextualize because just the way everyone's feeling historically. Historical thoughts, I mean, that's what shapes. That's why in all these debates, if you know about history, you're going to do very well because it's about how much knowledge you have relative to the other person. It went to 400K market cap last December, Friday the 13th. Yeah, but it's not going to pump that high again. Listen, I hope it does for you. Honestly, I really hope it does because, you shill it. That's fine. Huh. Bitcoin at an all-time high.
So can you tell me what African country is currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan because I'm not an idiot.
How about what Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right now?
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed, about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you've supported as corrupt, as selling the country out to the lowest bidder, and of doing irreparable damage to a country I'm sure we all deep down love.
The difference,
I think you will have to reckon with that
difference
one, Mr. Kirk.
is when...
I mean, you're not going to give him a chance to respond. Is he going to respond? Huh. This is a good poll for people. Hochul +1. Yeah, you gonna compare me to him because he's got red hair? That's great. We have laws against inciting violence and racism. I mean, they have laws. They're just discriminate. The problem is that just the whites are just such a minority there, and they've got a lot of farmland, so they want them to give it up. What was he going to say? What, against that kid? I don't even remember what did he say? He said that, oh, what are we selling it out to Israel? Is that the point? That's always what it comes down to, right? That we're selling it out to Israel. Do your sides like that guy? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna mad scientist my hair. What video did Trump show the president? It was a video, a compilation of things talking about the whites being targeted in South Africa, talking about kill the Boer, kill the farmer. They call it a fringe political party in South Africa that says out loud, kill the farmer, insinuating that they should kill the farmers, which are majority white, heavily white. Congrats, New York governor. Congestion pricing. Yeah, what happened to that, dude? I've heard about that. So congestion pricing, basically for the rush hour, they will charge you money for being on the road. Is that what it is? That's extremely dystopian. They must have just horrible traffic to where it's like they can't even function, if that's what it is. And isn't it like a lot of money if you have a bigger car, or if you have like a truck? It's more. The congestion taxes are more. Should Americans believe that was new? Should that have been detected sooner? I think it was detected sooner. The best guess is that it was detected sooner. There was a bunch of bad stuff that was coming out about Biden in terms of his mental capability. I like Tapper's book or whatever. The Her Tapes Tapper's book. And so they said, well, we're going to get some sympathy here. And now we're going to release that he has the stage 4. That's the most likely thing that happened. They charge $9 to enter Manhattan any time of the day. It's supposed to help with traffic, but it just increased according to reports. $9. I mean, dude, with how bad inflation is, I guess for New York, $9 is nothing. And what are they trying to raise money, or is it to just discourage traffic? But $9, is that really going to get people from going into the city? I don't know. Seems like they needed some type of people. They needed people to leave New York City. That's overpopulated. You got to do stuff like that. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. 60% cut in taxes. So what, they want to join the U.S.? We're not interested. Yeah, here it is with the fear-mongering. 20-year yield. Well, that's a nice-looking price. New all-time high. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of new all-time highs for Bitcoin. 2028 ticket, Vance Rubio. That's like the normie ticket.
Yeah, and then she's being like forcibly.
Dude, this dude was like trolling. I was trying to watch this. There was like a clip of it. It seemed like he really didn't give a shit. He was just trying to get Tim Pool mad. That's what it seemed like.
Deported. Do you think that's good for America? Like, this is okay. So
marginally.
You think what do you think is good? Even marginally, like what's the minor small benefit to America?
Do not come to our country and rally against it and its interests. I apply this too to any of these.
So what is the U.S. interest that her writing an op-ed?
The Suez Canal.
The Suez Canal,
right? The United States. The reason why the U.S. is so.
What are they talking about? An op-ed on what? Oh, the Hamas, the Palestine supporter that got deported.
I love these Jews people that are like, Israel controls the foreign policy. Oh, shut up. The U.S. interest with Israel, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia has a lot to do with like the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. This is why Donald Trump is obsessed with Panama and Greenland. He wants to control the global trade routes. This is what America's largely done. That's why I say it's a gross mischaracterization to claim that an op-ed is a threat to national security, in that it is, in the smallest of senses. Students coming here and telling us to oppose our support with Israel puts us at risk in terms of the sentiment of a younger generation as to whether or not we'll fund Israel and control the Suez Canal.
But I asked...
That is not the reason we support Israel. The Suez Canal? Come on. It's not even in terms of our trade. That's not the reason we support Israel. Thoughts on Tulsi being the nominee for 2028? Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, man. But you never know. You never know. It's a bit early for that. Is that Adam ruins everything? Is he a cuck? Well, you remember he went on Joe Rogan and had a tough time, but that was like 10 years ago or something they were talking. He went on, you remember that?
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, you got to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But
look at him.
Go on to a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing. They also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back. You ought to go back to your studio at NBC, because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead.
Well, he, it's been reported with the Qatar jet. I said Trump, I was honest. I said, I think it's probably not smart to take it, but this is a problem with Boeing. he said there needs to be a new Air Force One. This was supposed to be done. They were supposed to start construction on it in 2018. So it was supposed to be ready by like 2024 or something, from what I had heard. And so it's been delayed this entire time. And apparently he is not going to be the plane is going to his library. So I mean, whatever. Listen, the plane goes to his library. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a great look, but it's you need a high tech airplane. I mean, Boeing didn't really help us. Remember when Elon was gonna buy MSNBC? MXNBC is what they called it. Yeah, but they they were never really for sale. MSNBC. Tim Pool was wearing that beanie on a trip to Hawaii, and it was 95 degrees out. That's got to be a troll. How do you wear a beanie in the ocean? That seems... Was he wearing it in, like, the pool? Bill Gates says that a two-day work week is coming in the next 10 years thanks to AI replacing humans for most things. What, so he's insinuating universal basic income if we're working for 2 days? This guy. He wears the beanie everywhere. Yeah, but how do you wear it in the ocean when you go underwater? That's not... That doesn't seem... Seems like it would be a problem. It's going to the Air Force, though. Yeah, but it is going to Trump's library after they get a new... what they're going to do is they're going to use it until the Boeing finally produces the new Air Force Ones. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird relationship there. Play the Bill Gates poop water clip. Yuck. Yeah. This Trump goon. I think Trump's too old for that, honestly, man. He's too old for that. Your testosterone slows down. Elon Musk said recently he would not trust Bill Gates to watch his kids doing because of Bill Gates' connection to Epstein. Yeah, well, what is that prop on? The Epstein stuff. Remember this? Who will be named in the Epstein files? Oprah got a lot of money. Bill Gates, Clinton, Anderson Cooper, $860 in volume. Yeah, remember this? We thought it was all coming out, and then they released basically nothing. Let's see if they've got an update on this decision. Oh, goody. Actually, there's a small chance of a decrease. It's not likely, though. Really? Really? Come on, bro. You gotta be kidding me with this. This is not correct. Where's Barron Trump? I think he's at New York University or some shit. Is that some college in New York? I don't know. NYU. NYU is what they call it there. Two days at your first job, 2 days at your second job, 2 days at your third job. Yeah, 3 part-time jobs. How much spending will Doge cut? Under 200 billion. Now under 250 billion. Above 2 trillion, yes. Did you beat Medicare yet? I think we might beat Medicaid though with these cuts that are coming on Medicaid. They're finally cutting something. They're cutting the illegal immigrants, siphoning off Medicaid apparently. Juan Soto sucking 750 million. Yeah, but he'll be fine. I mean, he is a really bad fielder, Juan Soto. He's a bad outfielder. Ever been to Canada? Yeah, just Niagara Falls. So nothing. I never been to any of the other. Like, I never been to Alberta. I never been to British Columbia. I've only been to really barely into Canada. The Canada side of Niagara Falls. And we stayed there, but that was when I was like 7 or 8 years old. So. What is the worst part-time job a person in their 20s could have? Just in like the general sense. I think in your 20s, you should be able to be building up something. I would say like any fast food place is tough. But I mean, in terms of like the most grueling job, the Amazon I mean, I guess you make money, but the Amazon drivers, that job seems like it's very bad. It just seems like you're alone. At least you could interact with people when you're at like a restaurant. You could interact with people. So I think the Amazon stuff would be really bad. Just in your car by yourself, you're forced to meet a quota of how many packages. You're constantly in, out, turning off the car, turning on the car. Any of that type of stuff. Thoughts on three-ways Skyline chili? I never had it. It's not in my area. Not even close. If the Fed does no rate cuts in June, then hopefully later sometime in the summer or fall. Yeah, I think September 8th is when they're going to cut them. I know it says, that the odds of it are not great, but I think September 8th is when they're going to cut it. Amazon, anything is a hell job. Yeah, I was watching a video of someone doing like you being a sorter. You can be a sorter at the thing. It looks really bad. I'm surprised they don't have robots doing it yet, but it's like you take a lot of it's automated, but you have to like take the packages. There's like some sorting thing. You put them in different bins, and it's like somebody doing it for 6 hours. Got to pee in bottles as an Amazon. I remember when they were talking about that on Rogan. Rays are not leaving Miami. MLB is going to cut its ownership in the selling cities of Tampa, St. Petersburg, willing to add and wanting to make a deal with new ownership. Yeah, it's really not a bad TV market, but the stadium has to be in the correct spot, meaning the Tampa side of Tampa. Like the northern part. The Tampa side of Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay is like an all-encompassing area, but then there's the Tampa side in the north, and then St. Petersburg. Kroger sells cans of Skyline. Honestly, I'm kind of hungry right now. I mean, I ate a decent, okay amount, I guess, today. No. We need the capital gains tax. Damn you. Thoughts on van life? Is that what it is? Yeah, I mean, that seems like a tough way to live, man. Seems like you don't have a stable home. I mean, I guess it's for a certain type of person with a certain personality. The big beautiful bill passed Congress. They even voted on it already. I wonder if they have that on here in terms of odds. Bill. Salt cap increase. Yeah, they did do a salt increase to 40K. Cutting Medicare before July, 7% chance. Cutting Social Security, 6% chance. You delivered Amazon before COVID. It was amazing. Made $150 a day, working like 4 hours. Then COVID hit, and our stop count went from 70 to 190. It sucked. Yeah, that's crazy. You probably just quit after that. You go from 70 to 190 in terms of output. They ironed out the final deals. It's almost done. Okay, yeah. It'll get there. Quick reminder when you talked about why you don't no longer order food. Yeah. Just unqualified. You can't do that. You can't risk that. Plus, it's like, I like having a peace of mind. You know how it is nowadays. I mean, it's very easy to slip something into a drink. But I was like, sometimes I was like, I had to throw away the drink because I'm like, I just can't trust this. I'm not going to risk getting sick for a longer period of time, but I'll just do it myself. I'll just go out and get it myself. The Big Beautiful Bill is a nice name, and I heard there was a stablecoin bill. Yeah, there is a stablecoin bill coming. Well, what was it? It's like USDC. I like USDC. That's my favorite stablecoin. Better than Tether. Yeah, this is nice. The digital dollar. Yeah, I'm going to be transferring it when I cash out my crypto. I'm going to be trading it to USDC and then trading this for fiat USDC. It just looks nice. I don't know. I just like the symbol. It's a nice stablecoin. Yeah, they have all these local elections. Huh. Boy, the normies keep talking about this. People will 100% fuck with your food. Oh, absolutely. That's why there's no reason to take that chance either. Democrats are freaking out over the big beautiful bill. Well, yeah, they're going to talk about the debt increase. Do you plan to diversify your portfolio with silver or gold? No, I wouldn't do silver or gold. Just based off of the return, I could get a better return in the stock market, even on something that's relatively low risk, like an index. Thoughts on Bill Belichick getting engaged to that 24-year-old? Yeah, I mean, it's a strange relationship. People seem to be really obsessed with that. I don't know. That's the pop culture stuff that people talk about. I don't really think it's I mean, look, it's a weird relationship. I'm not going to lie. We understand that men have to build their value. This is the thing that women need to realize. They get angry. There's like these women that are like 27, 28. The men that are their age want to date like 21, 22-year-olds. It's because we have no value when we're 18 or 19. Women have so much more value for nothing. And then we gain value. And then we want to date people that are, 5 or 6 years younger than us. If you're 28 or 29, it's just normal. But they get angry about it. USDC meme coin on Solana, almost as good as physical gold meme coin. Yeah, I saw that. The USDC. I've been looking. I'll look at these like once or twice a day, and none of these, any of them. Oh, look at this. This is an AI meme coin, I think. Or no, maybe it's an actual coin. Unstable. This is an actual. This is better than USDC. Boy, this is a really nice graph. Man, imagine I would have looked at this and gotten it at like 81K. When was it at 81K? No, they don't have the time. I'm not gonna be able to see it. Yeah, here's another retard coin. That's what it's called. Tit coin, 51 million. The troll coin is down to 13 million. The Trump coin is at 2.9 billion. Trump Rubio. What, Don Jr.? Nah. Trump is not running again. You have a lot of value. Why is dating not working out for you? You're not putting yourself out there. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty normal for guys my age, just in terms of the dating pool. Really, when it comes down, like, I mean, my job is a bit it depends. It's a unique thing for sure, but I found most women really, when it comes to politics, they'll normally just be influenced by whoever they're dating. I mean, some women will be like, that are really liberal. At this point, it's like you filter through. If they're liberal, it's not going to happen. There's just no way. Just because of the nature of the content that I make. But, I mean, eventually, probably. Did you see any updates with the Diddy trial? Not really. I mean, I think I saw a few things, but I don't really care, man. The Diddy trial is an interesting, like, race thing. That's what I realized. Because of the people involved. That could really fuck over some people. We'll see what happens, though. NYC smells like shit. Did you see that video they did on the new transit system in Riyadh? It's hilarious seeing the difference between NYC and that. I mean, it's brand new, but obviously they're going to keep it much cleaner. Public transportation is only as good as the public. And in NYC, the public doesn't treat their public transportation well, and the public transportation is going to be shit. But the thing is when you start hyping up public transportation, you get into like the socialist, communist aspect of it. Because there's a lot of commies that love public transportation. They love controlling people's way of life and limiting them. It's easier to do when they don't have vehicles. But I mean, I don't have anything against public transportation, especially in big cities. I think it's very important. But again, the public is only as good as the transportation is only as good as the public treats it. There's an etiquette that has to be had when you're dealing with a densely populated area, and you just don't see it in major cities in the United States at all. If all of my chat were women, yeah, this is getting pretty sad. Ever thought about moving to the South? You're from Vancouver, but was just in Nashville and down in North Alabama. The girls were amazing, way different here than North. Yeah, I couldn't live there because of the heat. I like Four Seasons personally. Look at this VPN, Vagina Penis Network. VPN. It's another play. It's another play on words. That one's not bad. You've been on extra long. It's like an hour and a half, man. It's like 2 hours. This is how long I normally go. Pause. VPN mooning. Yeah, but you can't buy it now. There's no point. There's too much of a risk to buy the fucking coin that's 2 hours old. That's at 500K. Thing could be at 20K in 10 minutes. Japan metro system cleaner than US and faster? Way cleaner. Oh, it's not even close. Well, they don't have immigration. Go look at Japan immigration. They just say we're not we don't care. Our population's declining. We don't take immigrants. Like, think about how crazy that is for liberals in America. They would like, what do they think of the Japanese? They have to be like Asian supremacists. I mean, that would blow their minds. Let me tell you about Asian countries and their immigration. It's like they get so angry over 59 white immigrants after our demographics have gone. Have you guys should look at the demographics of the US history. It's insane. Where are all the whales today? The whale already donated me at the beginning of the stream. Liberals love Japan. Ironic. Yeah, it's funny. They wouldn't love it if they knew about its policies. Woman here enjoying the life. Well, see, there are women in the chat. Do you think the big beautiful bill will pass? Yeah, I think it will pass. And it's going to help a lot. But I mean, people talk about the debt. There's always trade-offs. We're just trying to get a bull run. We need a bull run. We need a bull run badly. We're going to get a big bull run with these tax cuts. These tax cuts, inflation down, rate cuts. Yeah, this is beautiful. And then this coin, SDAC, they're taking over my actual coin. Ah, fuck this. My coin is getting cucked by this coin. The Ethereum version of NASDAQ, NASDAQ 420. This is a decent chart too. Damn this coin. I'm gonna run out and get something. I gotta go get some, like a lemonade or something. Alright guys, I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna go run out and get a lemonade, honestly, but that's gonna do it for this stream. Debt ceiling? Yeah, they're going to increase the debt ceiling by 4 trillion. It's a big number. Japan and Italy got a pass after World War II, and they don't have as much generational guilt compared to Germany. I know. Well, think about Japan, like the fact that we're allies with them after we dropped nukes on them. It's pretty insane. Leaving for lemonade? Yeah, I am gonna go get lemonade or something, honestly. But, it's not even 2 hours yet. IRL live stream. Let your hair grow long and sell it. Well, let's take a look at my hair. But this is the thing with my hair. It's, well, no, you can't even, because I need natural light. I need natural light to actually see my hair. I can't, it got too dark. It's too dark. This light doesn't even help. But, I'm getting my hair, but see, they say, listen, you gotta have your hair like this. That does look a little bit better, but then I have it like this, and I got it growing out like that. But, yeah, guys, I'll be seeing you later.